Hello everyone, Johnny Hurricane here from GamersHeroes.com, and why don't you sit back, relax, and let me tell you about Paper Mario, the Origami King. Let's get started. Before we go any further, a review code was provided by the publisher. Paper Mario, the Origami King starts with Mario and Luigi being invited to Peach's castle for the Origami Festival. When they arrive in town, they realize that there's no one around for the festival. The pair enter Peach's castle and find a strangely folded Princess Peach. She asks you to join her in becoming folded and then tosses you into the dungeon. Here, you meet with Olivia, the partner who will be with you for most of the game. You also find Bowser folded up and see his minions being folded into folded soldiers as well. As the three of you make your escape, you encounter a man named Ali, who is known as the Origami King. He plans to turn the whole world into origami figures and starts with Peach's castle. You then learn that Olivia is Ali's sister and she wants to stop him from doing this. Before any confrontation is done, Ali lifts Peach's castle off and sends it off into the mountains. Mario, Olivia, and Bowser all escape and are separated shortly after. What follows is roughly a 20 to 25 hour journey filled with fun, charm, and an incredibly annoying battle system. The adventure will bring you all over the Mushroom Kingdom and is one of the game's greatest strengths. Each area is fun and unique, but it also feels like it fits right in the Mario universe. Shogun Studios is an oriental-themed amusement park with ninja toads and samurai shy guys. The mysterious eclipse of the scorching sandpaper desert will have you solving ancient puzzles to remove the curse of the moon. Toad Town is a bustling area with tons of toads waiting to help you in any way they can. They'll sell you new equipment, train you for battle, and even provide you with a boat later on. However, not all is well in Toad Town. Lots of toads have gone missing in the world, and it is your job to find them. Not all of them return to Toad Town, but those who do always give you extra bonuses like coins, new shops, or tidbits of lore. The rest of the toads you will find will cheer you on in battle and even help out, provided you pay them. Tossing coins out during combat will have the toads jump into the fight and aid you with HP, items, and extra damage. It is a little silly that you have to pay them to do this, but the whole combat system is ridiculous as it is. Combat in the Origami King will often leave you frustrated or annoyed. The basic concept is like a puzzle. You need to rotate rings and line up enemies. You have a certain amount of moves and a certain amount of time to do this. At first, it's okay, and sometimes it's even enjoyable. After doing it 20 or so times, it gets old quick. What makes it worse is that the actual combat part, the hammer and the jump part, is excellent. Remove the ring thing and the battle system would be spot on and get very few complaints. Instead, you are going to be searching for ways to avoid fighting whenever possible because you're just going to be so burnt out from the repetitive battles. Boss battles are a little different, however, and I actually enjoyed these for the most part. They are still a puzzle system, but you need to make a route to the boss instead. So as opposed to rotating the rings to line up enemies, you are rotating the rings to make a path for yourself to get to the boss. Along the path, you can get extra items, extra attacks, more damage, open up treasure chests, and get tips to fight the boss. And you can also run into obstacles that the boss tosses down. This will vary from boss to boss. For instance, one of the bosses will toss down like little flames that you have to avoid. Another one will make holes in the ground. Just little things to make you think a little bit. The reason that it works so well is because there's not that many bosses. I want to say maybe there's, well, I don't want to spoil how many, but there's definitely no more than 20. And they are so spread out that it feels refreshing to actually do this type of combat, unlike the normal combat. Worth mentioning that one boss regened all of its HP at one point because I did not kill it a specific way. That annoyed me, but I ultimately ended up beating him. On your adventures through the Mushroom Kingdom, you will also run into abilities known as Vellum Power. These are basically like elemental powers that can be used in combat and in the world. To be used in combat, you need to find a specific icon on the floor. You grab that and you can use it. This will let you send out like a tidal wave, shoot fire, or an earth attack, things like that. You'll also use them in the world to find secrets and hidden paths, as well as progress in the main story. Oftentimes, this will be the gatekeeper for progression. You will need to get the next Vellum power to progress to the next area type of thing. Honestly, it might just have been a reason for them to add mini dungeons, but most of the dungeons were pretty good. The water, as usual, the water dungeon was the puzzles in it were pretty crappy, but outside of that, pretty much a good time. Plus, you get to roast a giant clam that has a toad inside of it at one point. and that's just fantastic. One other issue I had was the economy in the game. Paper Mario the Origami King floods you with coins. You don't get XP in battle, instead you get coins. Blocks sometimes have 1,000 coins inside of them. Side quests and treasures give you more coins. You don't have enough to do or enough to spend it on unless you are continually paying for toads to fight with you. Weapons do break after a while, and you can buy more, but I always felt like I had more than 10k coins when I needed it, and if I didn't, it wasn't difficult to go get more coins. There's just coins everywhere. Too many coins. There was one time I almost went broke, and that was because I bought a ton of different accessories, and even then it took me about 30 minutes to get my 15,000 back. So really, you don't go broke unless you really want to go broke. Coins just aren't what they used to be. Experience should have been there instead of coins. I didn't have any frame issues or crashes during my playthrough. The soundtrack for the game is fantastic, the characters are amusing, and the art direction is spot on. The game is so close to being a Game of the Year contender that it actually hurts. Paper Mario the Origami King is on the cusp of greatness and let down by a tiresome combat system. Still, the adventure is one worth taking for most Paper Mario fans. Alright, that will do it for me. If you liked what you saw and got what you needed, like, comment, subscribe. See you guys in the next video. Later, Gators.